Hi everyone, my name is Yulin Li. In this video, I will introduce a few modes of learning. As you know that there are many learning styles such as visual, verbal, kinesthetic, and so on. Different people prefer to learn in different styles. Before we begin our lesson, I want you to think about your own learning style. So what do you prefer to learn from? I think you all figure out your own learning style. So let's think about another question about learning. How can the instructor use the modes of the learning in instructional design to make learning process become more effective? To answer this question, the two famous people propose three different categories of learning, which are the main points I will introduce and analyze in this lecture. We have already known that in this lecture, we will talk more about modes of learning in instructional design. Here are the learning outcomes. By the end of this video, you should be able to know all of them on the list and learn more about modes of learning. For our learning purpose, I hope you can know more about modes of learning in three categories and use it effectively in your own learning process. Also, you can figure out the importance of the modes and make your learning become more successful. For the instructors, they can use the modes to build effective instructional design. The three modes of learning are accretion, turning, and restructuring. Accretion is the most common mode of learning, and it means that people add new information structures to their existing base of knowledge or memory. The accumulation of new knowledge in learning allows learners to build up the base of information and store a large number of the new specific knowledge. This mode of learning is used frequently. Learning through turning is also one of the most important kinds of learning. Learners use this mode of learning to adjust, develop, and interpret new information to make new information or knowledge become more accurate and specific. Learning through restructuring is a difficult process, and it happens when existing structures of memory are not enough for new information or knowledge. However, this mode of learning requires learners have plenty of time and efforts. The illustration I designed and provide shows the different levels of frequency and complexity in three modes of learning. For the accretion, it is the most common form of learning, so it is not complex and people use this mode of learning frequently. For the restructuring, it occurs much less frequently and according to the definition, it is the most difficult process because it requires students' efforts and time. For turning, it is the slowly form of learning. Also, the author states an important point in mode of learning, which is called schema. Schema represents the unit or processing system of human information, and it is a symbol of common concepts. The three modes of learning can be used in learning design, instruction, and evaluation effectively. I list three situations to explain each of the modes in learning. There are also some examples that can be demonstrated. How the model can be used in instructional design. First example is teaching and learning language, such as English. When the instructors teach students to recognize 26 English alphabets, the learning process of the learners is called the process of the accretion. When the instructor decides to teach students learn full sentences or simple words by using 26 English alphabets. It represents the process of the restructuring, when the student can use new words or sentences in daily life. It means the process of turning. About teaching young children about a category of cats. Teachers can show different kinds of cats and teach young children the words called cat. It is the process of accretion, which means adding new knowledge to a person's base of knowledge. Then, instructors can teach young children to differentiate different animals. It will make students know that not all animals are cats, and slowly help them to modify their schema of cats. This process is called turning, which means developing new knowledge and make it become more accurate and specific. Finally, instructors can ask young children to show and describe different kinds of cats to acquire new knowledge. This process means restructuring. It is a common learning process and instructional design and can make the use of knowledge more effective. Also, use modes of learning can modify and improve the base of knowledge. However, some modes are difficult for students, such as restructuring. Also, compared with the modes of learning, there are some related or similar theories. This theory focuses on the method and ways of decreasing work memorized capacity in total and improve long-term memory load similar to these theories. The process of turning is used to develop learning and make new knowledge become more accurate and generalized. Therefore, it can be used to decrease analyze memory load. However, cognitive load theory is mainly used in internet-based education, including 9 main events of the instruction, which can make learning and the teaching process become more effective and specific. Similar to this theory, modes of learning are also used to develop learning. However, the conditions of learning describe a learning process, and even if the order is different, the process will still follow the 9 steps. The third similar theory is both design and model of learning make knowledge become more effective and focus on the process of the finding scheme of the problem solving. However, structural system design need to follow 5 steps and design instruction. Restructuring is modes of learning happen only when exciting structure of memory are not enough for new information and it does not have fixed steps. You can review the main points of the 3 modes of learning from the 2 illustrations again. The 3 questions can help you review the lecture and check if you are understanding the content in this video. Do you have any question?